friends. Today we're going to read this great book, The Apple Pie Tree. And it was written by Zoe Hall and illustrated by Sherry Halpern. After we read it, we're going to make an apple tree. Apple pie tree. My sister and I have a tree that grows the best part of the apple pie. Can you guess what that is? Apples! Every year we watch our apple tree grow. In winter, our tree is brown and bare. There's the apple tree in the winter. But in spring, leaves grow on every branch. Look, 2 robins are building a nest in our tree. There are the robins, the tiny springtime leaves. The pink flower buds appear on the branches. The robins chirp loudly, guarding their eggs. First the tiny leaves and then the blossoms. Just when the flower buds open, baby robins break through the eggshells. Now our tree is covered with blossoms. The baby robins begin to grow feathers. And look at that, there's some bees pollinating those flowers. When breezes blow, the petals fall to the ground. Mama and Papa Robin teach their little birds to fly. Some days it rains and the wind blows hard, but our apple tree is strong and the robins are safe in the branches. There they are up in their nest. Small green apples grow where the blossoms used to be. There's some tiny apples. First the baby leaves, then the blossoms, then the baby apples. Soon it is summer. The apples get bigger and bigger. The little robins have grown up, but they visit every day. The apples are growing in the tree. The branches bend down low. They are covered with big round apples. Now it is autumn. The apples are red and ready to be picked. We fill our bucket to the brim. Look at all those giant apples. Mom and Dad help us peel the apples, cut them up, and pile them into a pie shell. Then we sprinkle cinnamon and sugar on top. Mom puts the pan in the oven. Look at what they're making, apple pie. At last the pie is cooked and ready to be eaten. Our tree has grown an apple pie. It smells so good. And it tastes delicious. There's nothing as good as an apple pie you grew yourself. There's not a nice apple, the Apple Pie Tree by Sherry Halpern. And now we're going to make an apple tree. Actually, you can see behind me, apples are all different colors. Yellow, green, red, and I'm going to make a red apple tree. First, you need a toilet paper tube. You probably have this at home. A piece of green paper, and I cut my green paper so it looks like the top of a tree. And some tissue paper, and I cut my tissue paper into, I'm going to make red apples out of this tissue paper. I cut it into little squares. Take your toilet paper tube and your scissors, just like that, and I cut I cut a little lines in my toilet paper tube to fit my tree, the top of my tree on, because this is the trunk of my tree. And I'm going to fit the top of my tree in. Actually, it might be easier to do the moms. Might need a little help with your moms and dads with this, but sliding it down. There's my tree, but I need to put some apples on it. I'm going to use my gluey glue and my paintbrush to paint the glue on. And I'm going to figure out where to put my apples. I'm going to put some glue where the apples are going to go. I think I'll put a bunch of apples in my tree. All those dots are where my apples are going to go. Take my paper, my tissue paper, or any kind of paper that you have and scrunch it up. Stick it in there. There's one apple on my tree. There's another apple. Oh, look. I have one that's not ripe yet. There's a green apple that's not ripe yet. There's my apple tree. Let's count and see how many apples I have on my apple tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can make an apple tree at home for yourself. We'll see you next week.